Hey Denchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and welcome to my review of the debut album from Galantis. This one's called Pharmacy, and I was really hyped for this record. I think I actually mentioned a few reviews ago, maybe 5 to 10 reviews ago, I had said that I think it was actually in Hellberg's review video. I talked about how if Galantis has an album, it might be one of my favorites or my favorite record of the year. My thoughts were a little different. The album ended up being a little different than I had expected, and I'm going to get into my thoughts. But first of all, if you haven't heard of Galantis, you might have known who it's composed of. The first of which is Style of I, who's a DJ and producer. He's been making a lot of waves in the ultra music scene. And then we've got Christian Karlsson from Mike Snow, the producer, or one of the producers from the trio. And they combine to make some material that in my opinion, is better than both of their materials. Perhaps both of their materials combined would make something as awesome as Galantis, this project is. And I was first introduced to Galantis before I knew this information about them, back when Cascade's Edit of Smile came around. But they picked up a lot of popularity in recent months with the single Runaway, You and I, which made me fall in love with them. I had listened to them before. I had liked their song You, which actually made this record. And honestly, just a very cool track, very melodic, and gets out some of those cool styles that I really like, blending classic music with some kind of future twist. And that's what I think Galantis pulls off very well with this record. We get a lot of future house, like in songs like Forever Tonight. We get a lot of classic progressive house sounds where the drop is composed of primarily piano, and we get lots of cool melodies and harmonies to go along with that. And honestly, the only track I really disliked from this record is the kind of breaks, breakbeat, garage kind of track, Kill 'Em With The Love, and I really just wasn't too impressed with this, honestly. Just pretty boring. But other than that, when going by individual tracks, there wasn't really a single track other than that on this record that I disliked. And the only downfall about this is almost just that, that a lot of it is very formulaic after a while. And although Galantis is one of the producer duos in the scene making actual unique music, what they end up doing is taking this formula that they've invented and reusing it over and over and over on this record. And they basically took an idea and ran with it, and that was the only downfall about this record. We've got singles like Gold Dust, In My Head, Runaway. We've got Firebird, the incredibly unique Peanut Butter Jelly, which is one of my favorites on the record, Dancin to the Sound of a Broken Heart. All these tracks are very, very good, and especially when listened to individually. But when you put this into a record as a whole, it honestly just gets a little bit too repetitive. But it doesn't get overly repetitive. It gets a little bit, but not overly, honestly. However, this album is very drop-centric. We don't get many tracks that don't really focus on leading up to this drop, and that's really the downfall about this. We get a little bit more of a tropical sound in Call If You Need Me. We get a lot of cool little vocal edits on this, some vocals by Dragonette on Firebird, and Peanut Butter Jelly, who collabed with Cascade, and I honestly can't wait to hear Cascade's new record. I'm going to stop talking about him, but I think he does have a new record coming out at the end of this year, which I think has probably even more potential than this record did, which I'm really hyped for. Like I said, they take a formula and they run with it, and you'll just have to listen to it for yourself. It's not a bad record in the slightest, but it isn't an amazing record, which is kind of what I was expecting it to be, and I was hoping it would be something a little more unique, and using up different styles, and maybe some ambient sounds, maybe just throwing some ideas out there, just anything other than being verse, drop, build up, whatever. But like I said, not a bad record in the slightest. You'll have to listen to it. Some of my favorites, I'll just list them off: Water, Don't Care, Runaway, Gold Dust, Peanut Butter Jelly. A lot of these songs are just very, very nice to listen to and very groovable. I find myself dancing in the car to these, and it's just very nice record to listen to, especially on a summer day like today. And that's what you'll find. So do get this record. I had said in my review update video to get this record, and my opinions actually got a little lower, and some other albums' opinions actually got a little higher since I made that video. So by the end of the year, my top 10 is going to be all skewed from where it probably should be from my review. So anyway, what do you guys think of the record? If you have listened to it, if you haven't, do it, please. And I'm going to give this record an 8.5. I think that's the highest I can really give it at this point, because a 9 I honestly think is too high for something comparing to, let's say, the Madian record, which I gave a 9.0. But that had a lot more unique styles, and although it did have a couple tracks, it had more tracks that I didn't like as much. It had more of a story to go along with it, and took a few different ideas and combined them, separated things, and featured a lot of different types of vocalists rather than these repeated edited vocalists on this record. So I rank that one probably a tiny bit higher than this one. Anyway, Galantis, Pharmacy. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.